One, Happy New Year. I just took a swig of some apple or cranberry juice. It's like making me choke. It's about 6:30 where I'm at. I thought I'd do a quick painting for New Year's because I'm going to watch someone else's uh, live. And I want to get done. I want to have one more for the ending the 2023. I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier, but I'm going to show you how I do it live so you can see how I fill. I put the undertone on the painting, and I'm wetting the brush, and you can go in any direction with this. It's just the undertone, and we're gonna paint on top of this. I don't know if you saw the one from earlier. I put this color down as the underpaint, and man, I started with the trees. It looked awesome. It was like because this is burnt umber and yellow ochre mixed together. And I'm dipping my brush in the water and just putting a thin layer on here. And like I said, you can go any direction. I'm probably going to actually wipe it with a paper towel to help it dry quicker so we can get going. Because you do want it to be dry when you start painting on it. It gives the painting a very cool look when it's all done. It really makes the paint look different. Like if you put blue up here on this color rather than putting it on white, it really changes the color, makes it look more, I'd say, rich. Gives it a rich look for acrylic paint. That last painting I did, I was painting around the trees. We're going to do the same thing, but today I'm going to have a foreground down here. We're going to put like a cool tree in here, and we're going to have like we're going to have a tree that kind of fills the whole painting in, and we'll have some cool stuff down here. It's going to be one big tree kind of filling up the whole sky, okay? Not an evergreen tree, just a tree like a normal, maybe oak tree or something, maple tree. But we'll get all this how I get the undertone on. You can wet this as much as you want, get it to run like watercolor, see? You can put darker spots in it you can actually grab some of the burnt umber and throw it in different places if you want. Get some different values going on up in there. But there, I wanted to show you how I did that underpaint. Because a lot of times I'll start the video, I already have this part done. And I'm using this is a soft brush. With acrylic paint, there's a lot of different brushes. You can get brushes that are like bristly, really bristled. This one happens to be soft. And I think it helps fill in all the parts of the canvas better with the soft brush. Another thing I forgot to tell you, like if you do this, take your brush around the edge like this, so you get a nice even edge of paint all around your painting when it's done. Just take your brush and pull it from the side over, and then when you'll notice when your painting's done, you'll have this nice straight line all the way around. Okay, just looks better. Then when you go to put your varnish on, it'll be easier. I'm just going to dab it a little. I don't want to take any of the, it's already pretty dry. I'll dab this down here so it dries faster. Alright, there we go. So what I'm going to do, I mixed the grain for my tree by using this color here. Look at that long word. This has a little green shade in it, so it's actually blue, but it's got a green shade in it, and I added some yellow to it and a little black. So I'm not sure. I'm trying to think because I want it to look kind of cool here. Thinking, let's have we'll have some kind of distant horizon back there, right? And then I'm just gonna put maybe some hints of small some distant mountains back on the horizon there, and then I'll probably have a couple hills down in the valley there, and then I'm gonna have the tree setting up maybe up here on this. We'll start the trunk maybe right down here. Have some kind of cool trunk there. Just like that. There we go. So I'll put a trunk there. I'm going to have the tree more leaning like to the left here. Let's get started. I'm going to start with my mountains. I'm going to make the mountains Payne's gray with trying to find my white. I'll tone down the gray on the mountains with some titanium white. I'm getting paint all over the place. Look at that. Oh, on this rag, this old rag that get this out of the way. Alright, this is going to be different. This is going to be different, so I'm going to take a little bit of this dark Payne's gray here and add just a little white to it. I want the mountains still to look dark, but they're going to be way, way in the distance here. Let's just block in the color with this Payne's gray. If you don't have Payne's gray, just mix white and black. Maybe put a little bit of blue in it. Run some distant hills back there. We'll just put them straight across. Get some different like tops going up there. Let's kind of curve the bottom a little bit this way. So it looks maybe kind of like it's running to the back there. Let's take a little bit of titanium white at the bottom. Just a little white on your brush and put it at the bottom of your mountain. Just blend it into the bottom of the mountain. Little titanium white. There we go. All right, there's our distant mountains. We're gonna paint around the tree, believe it or not. Let's put the trunk in. I'm gonna mix we'll put it in with burnt umber. Dark, we'll put it in dark first. And then we'll lighten it up where we need to with different colors. But let's just get the idea of the trunk in here first. Want it to be look like an old a tree that's been around for a long, long time, you know. It's got some long roots coming out all around the tree. Just get it past the mountains there. That's high enough. I kind of want the branches to like cradle a bunch of leaves I'm going to put up there. I'll fill up the whole thing with leaves. These trees aren't my strong suit, but I think if I work it long enough, I think I'll get it to look good. Nice big tree. All right. There's our tree. I'm going to go ahead and put some light on some of this. Get some different colors in the branches already. All right, there's our. That's a big tree, man. That's a big tree. All right, I'm gonna start putting on the leaves. I think I'm gonna use a stencil brush for that. It's gonna get pretty big. I'm thinking I'm gonna try and fill up the whole thing. I don't know yet. Like I said, this isn't my strong suit. Let's let's put some. Let's start here in the middle where this is kind of stopping. Put some color right in here first. Then I can kind of see what's going to happen. We'll put some color around these branches here. And then we'll put a little bit of color on, and then we'll make it bigger where we need to. It's gonna be different, that's for sure. kind of covering up my mountain. Didn't want to do that. One big tree. I might have to lower the horizon down because I covered up all the distant hills, but maybe those hills weren't meant to be in there. Look at that. That's one big tree, man. Let me put the grass in around down here. I'm going to mix a little yellow ochre and some of that green that we're using for the tree. And maybe a little white. I want to kind of keep all the green like the same, so the painting has a nice even, like all the colors are the same. Like this green came from that green. Put some green grass down here, just blocking it in. Very good. So down here, I don't think that's going to be a mountain anymore. We'll see. I'm going to put yellow ochre and white down here on our distant hill, which is going to be like right behind our tree. Yellow ochre and white. It's kind of cool painting like this around what you've already got in there, and then you can I'll adjust the tree when I'm done. It ends up looking pretty cool. If you're patient enough, you can get up right next to it but it does end up looking kind of cool. I'll put some light grass, I guess, down in here. Maybe kind of coming down like into a valley here. Just blocking it in with more color. There we go. There we go. It's looking good. All right, so I kind of like that. Let's put in some more stuff here. Some more stuff that we can highlight. Put some cool bushes down there. And over here. Going up. Just designing on the fly, guys. Happy New Year. I don't want this to take long because I'm going to watch a live myself from someone I follow. There's some, if you take a little, I just saw something here. If you take a little more darker color, see how you can, when you're painting, you can create some hills in there. See that? By just pulling the dark color out from your bushes, you'll create some things going on in there. You see that? It's looking pretty good. I kind of like it so far. I don't like my fatty tree. It's pretty fat. Maybe it needs some branches hanging down right in here. There we go. Bring this one down a little more. Get your branches, you know, to look good. I'm going to try and change it up a bit so it I don't want it to look like a lollipop, but I like how it's going like this here. That looks good. Maybe a little rounder up here will help. Just kind of look at your tree and maybe a little bit round right here. So there, I got some kind of, it looks pretty good. I think I got the tree the way I want it. I can always put these branches in later. I just want this part to look full. And it does. All right. So now we can start highlighting that thing. I'm going to try something here. I can almost make the tree, the appearance of the tree to be smaller because it does look fat. By doing that, that looks pretty good. All right, let's put some highlights on that tree. This is the hard part. This is the part I always have trouble with when I'm doing trees. We're going to pick a color that's a little darker than that. I mean, a little lighter than that. So I'm going to add a little touch of yellow, I'd say. Or actually, maybe a little blue. Let me try a little blue here. Yeah, that just made it darker. All right, so a little white. It's a little bit of white. It's in the same color, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I want this clump to be in front and this one in front. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do the edge of my separations, okay? Just the edge. Okay, this is a light blue, and I want to have one in here too. And I want to have one right in the middle that stands out on its own here. And then these will just be of course these will be on their own here. We'll have this one here, we'll have a small one here, and this one in front here. So just kind of like that. So this one I want it to be out front. And this one's going to be out front here. Just going to lighten them up a little more on the top to add some different colors in there. There's so many ways to highlight these trees, because you can highlight the color where the light's coming directly at it, or you can have it coming from the side, coming from the top down, keep the bottom dark. So there's a lot of different ways, but we're going to keep working that tree until I get it right. So now, since I want this clump, I got this clump down here too. All right, I'm going to lighten it up a little more with white. Just add a little more white to that same color I just used. It's a very, very, very little bit of white. So I'm going to do the same thing again. And come around the top edge of my clumps, I'll call them, with the white color. Just on the just very lightly touch them like you're highlighting the bushes, the way I do the bushes. And this one's going to be out front, so very lightly, because you want small details in there as well, like small leaves. This one I can almost separate this one into two of them here by doing this. See that? To make it look like fatter there. Very lightly, just around the edge first. Because if you over highlight it, you might not like it. I'm just doing the edge, and then I'm going to pick out, like I did here, different sections after that. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to take shape. Okay. Had a little too much paint at first here. Let's see how that's looking. Wow. It's looking pretty good. It's looking really good. I think we go a little with the same color. Let's come down a little lower now. We'll leave a few dark spots in the below. I mean, in the middle. Come down with a little more light. And then I'm going to highlight it one more time with a lighter color. There we go. That looks better. Leave the bottoms dark. Now I'm going to add a little more white to it. Just a touch of white to the color I just used. Now we want to make some of these branches stand out now with light. Let's try and make them smaller now. You can kind of see clumps in here now. If you take your time and hit the light on these small little circles, you can kind of see with the brush that the brush made, and just hit the light on the top. Just a little bit. You'll get the tree will start looking more full, like it has a lot of leaves. Okay, I don't know if you can see that in there. Like here, I got all these little round parts now where you can break those down even smaller to highlight just the top parts of them. Basically, the sun's coming, hitting right on this tree, so hitting right on it. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, don't overdo it with your highlights. When I varnish this thing, it should look pretty good with all these different values of color in here. Look at that. It's a nice tree, huh? That's why I don't do these trees too often. I mean, they take a lot of time, man. Let me highlight this one. I'm going to try and highlight it the same way, except I don't know what I want out front here. Trying to use the same color. So the scene has some kind of mood to it. I'm not going to spend too much time on these bushes here. You get the idea. All right, let's finish up the sky now. The sky, I'm just going to use blue and white. I'll probably start with white with a little blue in it. Just start with a light blue. want it more on the white side. More on the white side. Just come right up to your tree. You can even let some of the sky go onto the tree. It makes the painting look kind of cool. If you actually meet the color up against the other color. Just try and get close to your tree edge. Get some different tones going in your sky. Down here below, use mostly a light color. Maybe a like more white with a little bit of blue in it. Very light color in here on these small spots. It'll bring out the tree. I think I'm going to put some white spots or blue spots in the middle of the tree as well. We'll see. Like very small hints of the sky through the tree here. Just like that. Not too many. It'll look like, it'll look funny. But you see, you could come right up to the edge of the tree, and if you actually touch it, that's okay. It'll become part of the style of the painting. It's just a particular style of painting that we're doing here. Okay. That looks pretty good. Is it in focus? Looks like it's in focus. What do you think of that? Happy New Year. Yeah. That's how I do the highlights on those trees. It's sometimes it's difficult to if you do the highlights the way I just did it, slowly start. You got to find your clumps of trees first. Make them big by just maybe doing the edges. Find out which ones you want in the front. Like this one, I can even lighten up more and bring this one out. This one in the front. If I lighten it up a little more, I can bring it out. It'll stand out a little more. I'll try it. I'll add a little white right in here, and it'll make this one come towards the viewer's eye a little more. But you just got to do it very carefully and lighten your color up each time, each layer. And try and use the color from before and just lighten it up a bit. Now this one, I lighten this one up in the front. Might be able to get it to stand out a little bit. So it's like closer to the viewer. This one's in the front too. Put a little more light on this one and this one here. That'll work. I never have much luck with these kind of trees because they do take a while. It's already been an hour and it's just, all I did was one tree. See that? That's what I mean about these types of trees. That's why I always do evergreen trees. I can't tell if it's in focus or not. Let me turn it out of the light a little. I want to try some of these new brushes I got for, I don't know. I bought this brush to do that thing I just did, to put on highlights. I bought this brush. I'm going to modify this one and try and make it into a fan brush. I'm going to hammer this down so it makes this fan out like a fan brush. And I'm going to try it for my trees because the bristles are a little stiffer in that one. This brush I bought, this is kind of like, they call it a modeler. It's used for watercolor, but I don't know, it might be good for distant trees and stuff. Look at that. That's about all I'm gonna do on this one. I mean, I gotta finish the groundwork in the trunk, but you get the idea. Cause I'm gonna watch someone else's live here. They should be on. It's gonna be like a New Year's type thing as well. Put some clouds around the top here. See if that looks good. If I lighten this up a bit around the treetops. Yeah, that'll look good. maybe just on this one side. This one side. All right, guys. I think that's all I'm going to do on this because I think the live I'm going to be watching is about to get started. I'll work on this tomorrow and finish it up. But look at that tree. At least you got to see how I did all the, the clumps of trees up there. See how that one kind of stands out now in the front? Looks like it, you can even make it come out more. I don't want to work it anymore. Let's see what you guys are saying. Nice clumps, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about the fireworks. They do fireworks right at midnight. And I've got to go to work at 5 in the morning. So I'll probably get woken up at midnight. I kind of like that style I do. You see how I always put the clouds around the mountains at the very top? And I did that on these trees. It kind of looks cool. I kind of like it. It's just something I've been doing the last week or two. It'll change next week. But it's a fun way to paint, painting around the, like I put the tree in first, then I had to paint around it. It still looks good if you get the paint right next to the color, you get this cool effect. It almost looks like oil paint then. You see that? So it's good to do it like this sometimes instead of uh, doing your background and dropping things on top of it, like some of the landscapes I do. Doing it this way is kind of cool as well. It gives it, I think I'm using darker paint, so I like when a painting looks rich, you know. Yeah, like this area here, I put that sky, part of the sky in afterwards, see? And over here. Doesn't that look cool though? It looks, I didn't lay the tree on top of that color. It still looks cool. It gives it a different effect, almost like acrylic tonalism, but the colors aren't mixing, but it's kind of like how tonalism works with oil paint. All right. Happy New Year, Peggy. Let's see who else is on for Happy New Year, whoever else is on. I put that, oh, here's the one I did earlier. I finished the clouds. Look how many clouds I put up in there. Came out pretty cool. I'm going to probably let that dry a couple days and then I'll put some varnish on it, see how it comes out. All right, Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year. Ciao.